Hello and welcome into the Fan Speak Network. I am your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me, as always, is my co-host and partner, Mr. Andrew, the TD King, Rob. Happy Monday, sir. Happy 2025 free agency. Woo! Woo! We are flying. A lot of action going on. How are we feeling on this Monday? I mean, Commanders in a lot of action. Got yourself an offensive lineman, upgraded receiver Deebo Samuel. You feeling pretty good? You feeling pretty rich today?
Yeah. Welcome to the unofficial start, right? Because obviously we know people have been talking to people before today. But yeah, man, very exciting day. Lots of moves, lots of people going from one team to another. We got some good fantasy signings as well. And like you said, my Commanders spending some of their money, got themselves a nice D lineman.
Did Andrew
Obviously
freeze?
got Deebo. I think it was you freezing again.
I,
As always. Oh,
it
hold on.
was,
I'll go check the tape. I'll go over because I am watching us over on the YouTube.
okay.
But anywho,
I thought it was you.
the old Manders, yeah, spending money. I feel pretty good about it. They did lose out on some pieces that I thought that they were making a strong push for. And so that definitely makes it interesting. Lost Jeremy Chin, which is one guy I was hoping that they would retain for themselves. So got a glaring hole at safety now. So we'll see what they do. Definitely some people still out there, and of course we got the draft coming up as well. So it was definitely a very cool first day of free agency. That is for sure.
No, agreed. As a Bears fan, certainly enjoying all the offensive line action. We are geared up. We've got 4 strong linemen right now, waiting to see what else we're going to do. Very excited about that. And I'm thinking that might be looming a potential big move at RB. Maybe in the NFL draft, maybe a trade. I'm not sure. But I feel like, hey, you build that offensive line to look that good. You're putting somebody sexy behind it. So I don't know. You think we can get Ashton Genty at 9? Doable?
I mean, sure, it is. It is. That is doable.
Disbanded Brotherhood in here with the dot anytime. Dime.
Mike Rob said it was Bruni. He said 4 seconds in. LOL. Talk about a quick trigger.
Love it.
Man.
Anywhere else you wanna fire off here? Anyone in particular you'd like to start with the ADP conversation? Close to home, far away? What do you think?
It doesn't really matter, I guess, because we were talking about it a little bit before the show. Let's just go to the Godwin re-signing and implications there, since it's fresh on the mind. So obviously Godwin re-signing with the Bucks for a nice deal. Obviously that really helps Baker. I like that Godwin's staying. Baker has a lot of nice pieces around him, so that's great. Obviously we've seen Mike Evans and Godwin coexist, so don't really think that hurts anything there. I know you're big on McMillan right now, and I like McMillan, but I think he did a lot of his work when Godwin was out of the lineup. So I kind of think that it is going to hurt him a little bit. I think we do see a little bit of a dip coming on McMillan. So, give us the sell on still drafting McMillan at ADP.
I would still be buying McMillan at ADP because he's still just the younger, fresher guy. I know it's a crowded space. You have Evans there, you have Chris Godwin, but it's kind of a similar stand that you took last year with Brian Thomas Jr. Like, it's a crowded room. You got receivers. You have Gabe Davis being added. You have Evan Ingram emerging at tight end. Christian Kirk still there. Brian Thomas Jr. still stood out as the better, more athletic talent. And I think that McMillan can shine in an offense that is still going to prioritize Godwin and Evans, but at the same time, defenses have to pay them their due diligence, right? And I think that really opens things up for McMillan in an offense that's already looking to be very vertical. And they're keeping everybody around, it looks like. So you have those receivers coming back. They're talking about a very smooth transition with was it John Grizzard off of Liam Cohen. So I'm feeling that wheels are going to be up for 2025, and this is going to be an offense that we're going to want to be a part of. I will say I'm very blessed that we did dodge the Samaje Perine bullet. I don't know what that was for about 40 seconds. I figured it was a snafu with Twitter. I just figured this was the bots taking over. This is the end. The whole app shuts down, and then we get news that Samaje Perine is getting signed for a massive contract to the Bucks. Fake news. Quite literally, fake news. I don't know what that was, but thank goodness we dodged that bullet, because I was going, whoa, driving in my car thinking about all the places that Rachaad White could go. And then, 10 minutes later, I think they cleared that up.
Yeah. The comparison you made with Brian Thomas Jr. though, I think it's slightly different because again, like when did we really see Brian Thomas absolutely dominate? There was people who were no longer on the field. You know, Kirk hurt, Ingram kind of disappearing act.
I thought that Thomas stood out early, especially from a like a touchdown upside. You know, he wasn't getting that pure like dog volume. You know, like what we're expecting from him now. I know that your boy De'Ami Brown's going down there. That should be an interesting conversation. But regardless, like he was putting in work with touchdowns, and then eventually got a ton of volume. I think that McMillan can be a very good upside week to week play, whether it be DFS, having a best ball spike week, kind of wannabe sicko, target, I think, out of him. I think that potential is there. Like the 2 touchdown weeks are there. Again, you're going to have some, I think, displacement with Godwin coming back from injury and or another year for Evans in the league. One of those 2 guys will miss some time to add up to a little bit more per game production, I feel, in 2025 for McMillan.
Yeah, I just I don't know.
I mean, Baker, Mike Robb asking about Baker. He was top 5 last year. So I think that he's easily cemented in the top 10, top 12 conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely like Baker as the top 10, top 12 guy for sure. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm a little cold on McMillan at ADP. If there's a drop, I will like him more.
There should be with this news, I would hope. And kind of to the point that we were talking about earlier is I think that we get probably some better news that Godwin's going to be available early, but I don't know if that means that he's actually on the field. His foot was still backwards. It's just so hard for me to buy in on. I don't know. Modern medicine, I get it, but I don't get it. Foot goes one way, not the other. Now you're telling me we're going to put it back the other way and everything's going to be fine. I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And the level that Godwin was playing at too, I also just think he regresses from. I think he was scoring somewhere between 16 to 18 fantasy points per game. Even coming off an injury, if he were to get like 11 to 13, we'd be like, woohoo, golf clap. Like, awesome, right? But I think that can kind of level off a little bit, between Evans potentially and McMillan.
Yeah, Godwin only outscored for the time that he was in before he got hurt, was only being outscored by Jamar Chase in PP or half point PPR fantasy points. That's wild, right?
A little bit of upside there. A little bit of upside on his own, I think, right?
Yeah. So we'll see. I know you're hotter than I am on McMillan at ADP, which currently is 80.9. So we'll see what happens there.
I think between the guys after him, before him, we probably get a little bit of a fall there because the news shakes up the whole board.
It does. But the thing that I think we can both agree on is Baker up. All fucking systems go for Baker.
Smash the like button, share the video. Let's ride.
Another one that just happened before we went live here was Najee Harris going to the Chargers. So first off, obviously I did put out a little segment today from our bounce back and bust candidate show about Jaylen Warren that I believe he can be a bounce back candidate. And I did make the case that if Najee left, Warren's going to get like pretty much a 3-down workload, barring somebody of significant coming in and taking some of that. So let's start on the Harris side. Harris going to the Chargers, currently RB 34 off the board at ADP 107. What say you, hot, cold, indifferent?
Num, 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 num. Feed me some Najee at that value. He has to go up. There's no way that he stays. What'd you say, RB 35?
34, yep.
34, excuse me. He's already climbing in the last few seconds that Andrew told me 35. No, I mean, that's a ridiculous value. I could easily see him go up to 25, 22, definitely into like that early RB3 range in an offense. You saw what they did with J.K. Dobbins. Like many had still written him off. I know that we were excited because of Greg Roman running the offense. Hey, this is a good spot really for anybody, to reprise themselves or to have a good season. J.K. Dobbins did it. Very excited to see how they'll use Najee Harris, who, many, know him for just, running through the tackles, just being, 3 yards a carry type of Najee, but he's still got a lot of explosion in him. He did miss 2 games last year. We covered that earlier this offseason. Before that, he had not missed any games, missed any starts. Durable, athletic, strong, and he can catch balls out of the backfield and pass block. I think they got a good situation there.
Yeah, I like the situation for him. So, and I agree with most of what you said there. J.K. Dobbins, and again, like I'm still trying to catch up on some of the stuff that happened today. Dobbins still with the Chargers, correct?
No, I think I thought it was a 1-year deal. Is he a free agent? I think. Pretty sure.
Is he still there? Because this is interesting because he's currently RB 33, one ahead of Najee.
I mean, it says targeting to replace J.K. Dobbins. I know that Gus is a free agent for sure, or was released. Yeah, top 3 landing spots for J.K. He's also a free agent, so likely not coming back.
Yeah, Paul says Dobbins is a free agent, so it would be interesting to see if he comes back. They're going one apart. If they happen
I think they target the draft for a backup for Najee.
I mean, so do I. But let's just play the game. Let's say they bring back Dobbins and the ADP stays at the 33 and 34. You like Najee better there?
Yes,
yeah,
1,000%.
Okay.
I can get burned by that. I don't care. Like the guy that's missed 2 games of his career versus the guy that's battled to get back onto the field to stay healthy. I'll die on that hill all day.
Yeah, I mean, I also like Najee at that price as well. So let's flip over to the other side on the Jaylen Warren side. So again, Jaylen Warren going as RB 27, ADP 88.3. Wheels up for Jaylen. Now, obviously before the draft, we have no idea if they're going to draft somebody, which I think we both believe they will.
We got a long week of free agency left too. Let's let him get a quarterback first. But absolutely,
yeah.
He's in a good spot right now. I would say.
Yes, I believe so as well. I've obviously already made that case on previous show, but in your eyes, so Jaylen Warren, RB 27, with this news, where should he settle in?
I would say I'm cold at that. Would you say 27 ADP or just RB 27?
No, RB 27, ADP 88.
Yeah, I would be cold in that ADP in that ranking. I think that, between guys like Najee coming up, he's someone who I would definitely move up over him right now. The offense with the Chargers prioritizes the run specifically, and I think he can be like a legitimate star in that offense, whereas we're still kind of trying to find the identity of the Steelers. We need to know who their quarterback is. I would cool on him a little bit, but I still think that makes him a value, and I'd like to get him after ADP. I would say he's a target after his listed cost right now, with the anticipation that he does get cheaper. 1, because I do think they could still sign someone, and 2, draft, of course. But 3, just kind of not telling us who is going to be the guy. This is an Arthur Smith offense still. I think that they could bring in a free agent, a lower end value guy, maybe like a Rico Dowdle. If he's getting soured because Javonte Williams is in Dallas, I think that could be interesting. And then they probably draft somebody, based on the depth of running back in this draft class. I think that you get better discount points for Warren as we go. And if you're going to stand with him, I think there's better value to come. I'm with you, but I'm not sure if I'm with you to like the extent that he's this year's like Chase Brown.
Yeah, I like Warren. I do.
I know it.
I have faith in the offense getting him in the situations to be a good fantasy running back, especially if they are going to bring in a rookie that's going to need to get his feet wet before he truly gets some sort of larger workload over Warren. And again, like you made the point last time we talked about this, was if Aaron Rodgers goes there, that's really good for Warren. This is what looks to be the case potentially. I think there's different quarterbacks that can go there that really benefit Warren. There's obviously a rookie that would go there. That's probably going to hurt slightly.
There's no way. We'll get into the receiver conversation here as we've pivoted to Pittsburgh, but they have to be going all in on Aaron Rodgers. There's no way that Aaron Rodgers can now go to the Giants over the Steelers. That would be insane. Yeah,
agreed. Yeah, so if Rodgers goes there, that makes me like Warren even more. I'm all wheels up on Warren right now until his cost gets to a certain point, and then I'll cool off. But right now, RB 27, I'll take that all day long.
Arthur Smith is not doing us favors. Like if you're expecting Warren to be like what Bijan was supposed to be, like Arthur Smith has let us down. I don't know. I don't trust it to the degree where I want to overbuy. But like I said, you can talk me into a nice discount, 5% off, $5 foot long.
Staying with the Steelers, new wide receiver addition, DK Metcalf coming to town. Current ADP 48.1, wide receiver 26 off the board. Where are you on the ADP?
I think I'm going to sell a little bit just because, again, we don't know who the quarterback is. I'm with you. I think it is Aaron Rodgers. I think that the situation is night and day between Pittsburgh, the Titans, and the Giants. Like, the Steelers are clear and ahead, the team that can win right now based on defense and the offensive weapons available. And that's with your boy, Jalen Warren. I think that speaks to, some confidence in him. But again, I think they get deeper all around. I think they'll draft a receiver. They'll draft, a day 3 running back, day 4 running back, maybe 2. So I think that they get better. But yeah, Rodgers has got to be going there. Metcalf and Pickens, I feel like they're going at a very similar ADP. I think that Pickens is a little bit behind him. I want to say like 8 spots. Is that right?
Pickens?
Yes.
Let me see here. Pickens is currently sitting at wide receiver 33, ADP 60.
How many spots away are they?
12, because it's
okay.
Metcalf's ADP 48.
So a full round. I want to get the value there. I want to get the guy who's going later, because if we're buying into DK Metcalf, you're really just buying into the offense, because it's going to be better with him. It's going to be better with Pickens. I know that some folks on the old Twitter machine are saying, oh, well, this is like style on style. Like, they both do the same things. Yeah, they both probably do the same things very well, and that could build into some value for another player on the team. Maybe we get a clear idea of who the slot receiver can be in this offense, and it's really going to benefit them. I also think that this addition benefits Pat Freiermuth. But in terms of those receivers, I just want to get the value. I want to get the guy that's going to go later. I'll probably be getting more George Pickens as of right now, but my estimation is that their ADP kind of bumpers. Like, Metcalf will fall a little bit. Pickens might stay right where he's at, or maybe move up a few spots. But I think they really get within 4 to 6 picks of each other.
I'll take Metcalf. I mean, it's only a round apart. I like Metcalf more as a wide receiver, a little bit more of a dominant receiver. And if Rodgers comes to town, I think he's going to value what Metcalf can do as a receiver. Not saying Pickens can't do these things as well.
Pickens put some dudes on posters, bro.
And again, he can. But I mean, when you look at the two, like, if Rodgers is window shopping and just looking at them, he's going to fall in love with DK Metcalf because of how he looks.
I agree with you to an extent, but I think that the biggest knock on Metcalf is he's not like a massive affluent like route runner, right? Like, he's a powerful runner. Not saying he's the only straight line guy, but Pickens can body dudes up, go up and make big plays, and he's got great footwork. I think that this offense, whoever the quarterback should be, I mean, they should look good in 2025. If it is, in fact, Aaron Rodgers, I think that it's wheels up for both of those guys. It's no hate on Metcalf. I think that this is good for both of them, and I think just have to temper some expectation for both. I mean, I just don't see either of them, even being like in the top 12 conversation for receiver this year, like being a true wide receiver 1. I think their presence will still kind of middle each other. They get one of those aforementioned, rookie running backs or another free agent running back, and this is a healthy, spread it out type of offense, I think, is what the Steelers want here. Again, it's Arthur Smith. No one gets to be king.
Over under 11.5 offensive unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on Metcalf and Pickens.
Total combined between both of them? I think that's kind of an easy over. Like, for both of them combined?
I was setting you up for I threw you the old meatball there because
no, there's going to be some Bash Bro scenarios going on. And these are guys that also can set the edge. Like, it also means that this team can run a lot, and it should benefit that take on Warren if he can be the guy that gets bulk touches. Arthur Smith, man, like, if Bijan couldn't get bulk touches, he's getting Tyler Algier breathing down his neck, bro. And you think they're going to let Jalen Warren eat like a dog? I don't know.
Mike Raub, not in on the, as he calls him, old ass Rodgers, says that I got people like to have hope, but Paw Patrol has more chance of being real than this.
Who do you want to be quarterback there? I mean, there's not that many options left. Like, you could go with Russ, who now has experience with Pickens. He has experience with Metcalf.
Yeah.
That's there, right? I mean, there is some continuality to it. Is that good enough? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Russell Wilson didn't really excite us that much last year. Barely squeaked by to get to the playoffs. I don't know.
You liked Russ when you saw him live. You said they had that really nice throw to
He did
Pickens.
have that dime, dude, to George Pickens. That was a dime and a half. I like choked on some like beer or something. Like, oh shit. That touchdown didn't mean anything, but it was awesome to watch. I'll tell you that. Oh boy.
So yeah, yet to be seen, and I do agree with you. I think these two's ADP gets closer as time goes on, and you'll just essentially just choose whichever receiver you like better.
Yeah.
You know, in that
Or
scenario,
just whichever one
flipping,
falls or you are correlating with or you're stacking with, whatever.
yeah. Flipping back over, I know we were talking about the Chargers with the Najee business, but Chargers lost a wide receiver in Josh Palmer to the Bills. So two things: one, Quentin Johnston, call me crazy again, on the rise. Quentin Johnston has some life once again. Great best ball pick last year.
I
Probably
think
going
they
to
draft a
be,
receiver with their first pick.
and this is true, but we're talking right now. Quentin
Sure.
Johnston stock up.
Sure.
Josh Palmer stock.
Is Hayden Hurst still there? I want him.
How do we feel about Palmer over on the Bills now? Got a decent payment. Your boy Mac Hollins, the guy who led the receivers in play, yeah, and snaps last year. He's now out the door. Mac Hollins, shoeless wonder, no more in Buffalo.
He's with the Patriots now. He's going to put his frostbite to test.
It's going to be interesting to see what that happens there. But Josh Palmer, how are we feeling? Hold on, let me get his ADP here for us.
I'm so sour on Josh Palmer because he hurt me last year. I was so in on him and so out on Quentin Johnston, which is why I hate this conversation.
You might be back in Josh Palmer ADP.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is his ADP?
ADP, like not even being drafted, 239, wide receiver 117.
Pretty easy pick.
Yeah. Back in on him.
Just correlate with Josh Allen. Yeah. Like, oh, I got Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I'll take him in round 18, round 7, whatever,
And that's easy. Yeah. Those are the cases, people are going to be probably talking about him for some sort of week 17 correlation, some a team stack, with Allen, whatever the case may be, friendship strategy with Shakir or something of that nature. But
week 17 correlation if they have a good matchup, stuff like that. Yeah.
But when I looked today and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, he's like not even being drafted. I'm like, this is okay. Like back on Josh Palmer.
Here's Matt Collins.
Here we go. So yeah, very, very, very interesting there. I just wanted to hit on that really quick. I want to go to the chat here. Stephen WC bringing up the Davante signing with the Cowboys. It didn't get a lot of money, 3 point something, like fucking pennies in the NFL now.
Yeah, pennies on the dollar. He could get cut if he doesn't like do well on that contract.
This is accurate.
But I don't think he does. I think he did well enough last year. Like, why would they? I don't think they would cut him. I think they love the fact that they can get him for $3 million. So I think
Davante, by stats, pretty much the worst running back that Denver had last year. He's currently going RB 57, ADP 187. I think you're frozen. Neat.
You were.
There you go. Yeah. So RB 57, ADP 187. So not gonna kill you. Not a sexy pick whatsoever. I don't think I'm gonna be in too much to Javonte because I agree with you. Easy cut candidate because of the cost. They're probably going to end up drafting somebody, if I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to kill anybody for wanting to go Javonte. I mean, again, RB 57, I'm not going to kill you, but I would temper expectations. I don't think that this is going to be a guy that gives you like, oh shit, sorry, like 4 spike weeks. Like I don't think that that's the case. But where are you at with that ADP 187 for Javonte? Middling.
I don't want to buy him. I don't want to pay more. I'd like his cost to stay where it's at. I've already gotten a couple of shares in the big board, like 2 out of 11 drafts. So yeah, if I can continue to get a deal, if I'm in a
solid
ADP, I'll do that. I don't think I'm going to be like getting overweight on them because right now, situation hard to tell. They can easily, like you said, add a rookie, add another free agent. They could somehow still bring back Rico Dowdle. I was saying earlier off camera about the agent for Jordan Lewis, same as Rico Dowdle. Jordan Lewis leaving Dallas. I'm not sure if that means anything, but Dowdle, I don't know. Like, I feel like you don't like that move. I feel like he will be on the move somewhere else. So I think they get somebody else in there and potentially a rookie. And I mean, we saw like the priority that they gave it this last season. It's going to be a revolving door. it's going to be a committee in Dallas. I don't think that we're going to get anybody down there that's going to be putting up like 300 touches at running back.
I don't either. Yeah, I agree. I think there's going to be some sort of 2 or 3 man rotation coming in and out for the for the Cowboys. They're probably just going to be more pass heavy. So I think this honestly just helps the wide receiver / tight end / quarterback combos that you want to go get with Dallas. So yeah, I mean, definitely pass catchers up, running backs, whatever for them right now. Javonte is a fine pick, but not great. Meg said she saw someone on Twitter mention Davante was good in pass protection, so maybe he's just hanging around for that role. That's true. Yes, we shall see on Davante. I know people are some people are excited about him. I have seen some people on Twitter that I at least respect, thinking that Davante could be a good pick currently right now at his ADP. So we shall see how high that goes in the coming weeks.
I think if you've already drafted him, you feel pretty good. But I think you want to, you don't want to go overboard here. Like if you are bringing him into a stack, you can pay up a little bit more. But without a situation like that or any type of correlation, once like the schedule drops for whatever 15, 16, 17 weeks, and I don't think that you take him ahead of cost. I don't think there'll be a need to.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. Meg also said she saw Palmer went in round 15 or 16 in their live bigger board that they just did a few hours ago. She said free agency reactions come fast.
Yeah. I mean, and that makes sense. I mean, but another offense where I could see them adding a threat in the draft. Like, imagine if they had, Palmer, Shakir, your boy Dalton Kincaid still, and still behind your boy Kincaid. If anything, adding Palmer and not, a guy like Stephon Diggs or Amari Cooper, whoever their next, quote unquote guy is, that's, pretty good, signing for Dalton Kincaid. What if they added like Jaden Higgins, like a big bodied receiver, somebody like that? You're like, oh shit, do we still like Josh Palmer? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. But we are talking right now. So right now, Palmer, good pick. Don't mind that.
Pick 15 and back is just fine. I mean, given again, you're saying today's value, by all means you can do that, but it's also nice to still get those guys late because people don't have bill stacks. Like I wouldn't want to get Palmer in round 15 or 16 without some type of connection to the Bills offense. Like, and quickly change.
Mike Robb throwing the shade said this man's out here talking about respect and tweeting about QJ being a good pick. Hey man. Go look last year. Quentin Johnston, pretty good best ball pick. Just pointing that out.
It wasn't the worst pick. I mean,
pretty good for where he was going.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a pretty bad.
Oh man, yikes! Talk about bad. Bruni's internet.
It might be as bad as Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but mine's working. It's showing up on time. It's not sitting out because it's stressed or high on anxiety pills, which I could be, but I'm here. All right, putting in work, not like CEH. All right,
Yikes.
He was fine. He had like the Derrick Rose. He had the Derrick Rose syndrome. He was like, I don't want to come back. I'm not playing.
Yeah, yikes.
I don't like the Chiefs anymore.
You guys can throw all the shade you want at Quentin Johnston for where we were getting him last year. Pretty good best ball pick. We're looking for.
I'm really not throwing.
We're
that
looking
much
for spike weeks
as much as I am
at that point. All right, relax over there, Tonto.
You invest a first round pick with a receiver. I'm gonna say they draft Igbuka.
Okay. Very possible. Very possible. As of right now, still a good pick, Quentin Johnston. All right. Okay. Let's move on over.
The Chargers, please. Somebody clip that. Thank you.
I'm just going down to some of the stuff here. Let's just talk about the Bengals really quick. Obviously, franchise tag T Higgins again. Mm-hmm. Wild. And also re-signed Mike Gesicki. Again, nice. Mike Gesicki, pretty good value right now. Let me just get his ADP for us. ADP 201, tight end 27 off the board. Yes, let's eat. That is a great value for Mike Gesicki. I mean, where did he finish last year? Gesicki finished
15th
15th overall on half point. Had himself what we would probably consider spike week. For a tight end over 12?
Yeah, I'd say he probably hit that 4 to 6 times.
He so over 12, 1, 2, 3 times, and he got pretty close one more time. So if you're taking a tight end 27 and he gets you 4 spike weeks, That's pretty good, honestly. So I don't know about you, but I'm hot on that ADP right now. I think that's going to rise.
Great third tight end. You could do a great and late. If you did Brock Bowers and then a Gesicki, I think you're pretty fine with that.
Yep. T. Higgins, wide receiver 13, ADP 24, pretty high.
Pretty
Up there,
high.
but
You're buying him at the ceiling.
Yes, you are. I have a hard time not picking Higgins.
I would say I'm cold on that ADP though, just because I think that there's a lot of situations where he can fall if someone doesn't want to, stack him. Like if they're targeting other players around his ADP for stacking purposes, I don't know. I think you can talk yourself into a little bit of a fall for T. Higgins here and there.
Well, so and I agree with you. I think he can fall, but I think it's still okay to draft him where you're taking him now. Bruni, he finished as wide receiver 18 and missed 5 games. 5 games, wide receiver 18. Now, granted, he had the all-inspiring week 17 game of 34 points that I did not get to, live out my dreams of as a man who had a ton of T. Higgins. I digress.
It's a good offense. They're always vertical. There's tons of passing volume. You just have, Jamar Chase right there. And I don't know. I feel like they still do something to reestablish the run game. I don't think that they can run back Chase Brown in 2025 with the same usage from 2024. I think they have to get deeper at that position. But I like the fact that they need to start investing elsewhere, because even with the franchise tag, now they've spent a lot of money on their top 3 pass catchers. So I'm hoping that they can maybe build up the offensive line a little bit also in the draft, and I don't know, maybe make a free agency move. Probably not likely for their offensive line, but I'd like to see that, like the front, trenches there get a little bit better for them. And, we get a little bit more baked in value, the underlying stuff that, most of the public is just not going to be aware of.
Yeah. I'm still fine taking him where he's going, though I do agree with you. I think we do get probably a little bit of a fall, just a small one, but yeah, I'm still okay taking him there. I mean, man missed 5 games, still finished as wide receiver 18. That's pretty
5%,
pretty good.
5% off. 5 games missed, 5% off. Little discount, a little bit.
Let's see. I'm just scrolling down here through the news.
Let's go to the Raiders. A little Brock Bowers segue there, because I think Brock Bowers is going to have a nice year again. Probably likely to be a top 3 tight end with Geno Smith coming to town. I think that's a damn good scenario here for Geno Smith to continue his renaissance return to the NFL here.
Has Geno ever featured a tight end at all? Do we know?
I don't think it really matters. I mean, Bowers is just so much a part of the offense. I think that he's the wide receiver 1.
Yes.
I can't imagine that Carroll's going to come in and be like, oh, you know what? The best player last year, we're just not going to use him anymore. He's not Arthur Smith. Come on.
Oh, shout out Kyle Pitts.
Poor Kyle.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. I was trying to remember, like, if Geno in his journey across the NFL has ever had a tight end that he's like hyper targeted.
No, I don't think no.
So I'm curious to see how that pans out, though. Like, the Raiders still have Jacoby Myers. Who else? They brought somebody else in.
Super underrated Jacoby Myers.
Yeah. Who else did the Raiders bring in? They brought in somebody else.
I don't know. Let me search the Raiders. I don't think they did.
Oh, okay. Maybe not.
Geno, Trey Tucker's still there. They're talking about shopping Michael Mayer. They need a running back. They are in desperate need of a running back. Maybe this is where Rico Dowdle lands.
Yikes. Oh, brutal.
They need somebody. I mean, right now they have your boy, Sincere McCormick, my guy, Dylan Laub. Good Lord. Zamir White, and my guy, Alexander Madison. Not your guy, my guy. I mean, that's bad. That's really bad. Oh, Amir Abdullah. That's real bad. That's off. They have to get somebody.
Well,
so why are you scoffing at Rico Dowdle? He's way better than all those dudes.
I'd rather go take the rookies. I mean, there's so many good rookie running backs this year.
You can't just throw a bunch of rookies as you're in your running back stable. That's just not.
You sure can.
You got
look what they did last year.
Who?
The Raiders had awful running backs last year. You're telling me if they just go take a couple of rookies, that's going to be worse?
No, I mean they're only rookies playing for out of the backfield. They need some experience. They need some pass blocking. They got to go get somebody. They got to get somebody. Come on. Now.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Get real here.
Yikes.
Geno's going to work out. Back to that point.
I'm
It's going to
fine
be
with
good
Geno
for
there.
Geno.
I mean, I agree. Geno would be fine there.
QB 27, ADP 166. I think I'd probably buy that up like a lot. 21,
really
18.
okay. I don't know if I buy it up a lot. I buy it up though. I agree with you.
Let's play the game here.
Okay.
Let's look at Geno Smith. 27. Wow. Okay. Matthew Stafford, Geno Smith.
Stafford.
Justin Fields, Geno Smith.
Probably Geno, though, if they are going to really allow Fields to run the ball like he did with the Bears a little bit, that could be changed.
So that season he put up 307 fantasy points, Justin Fields, right? So you have to get him essentially at his ceiling. Last year, Geno in a light year put up 281, and the same season that Fields went off, Geno put up 314. So all right, you'll say slightly Geno. Geno or Cam Ward?
Geno
or Anthony Richardson?
Geno
or JJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy definitely the starter for the Vikings.
Take your pick. I mean, what we know today, right?
Yeah. McCarthy, if he's definitely the starter.
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, they're still, shopping for like Aaron Rodgers and other folks. Then it gets a little bit more murky, but I'll say Michael Penix or Geno Smith. Okay, so that's one. I'm going to say 2, 3, 4.
I'll probably buy him up to what, 22?
22 is where you probably put him, because then the next guys are like Bryce Young and Tua, and I'm assuming you're going to take those guys over Geno.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. I think he has a shot to be just as good, at least production-wise, as Bryce. Trevor Lawrence is just ahead of that. I would assume that you go Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
What about Drake May? Drake May's got to take a pretty big leap.
Yeah, probably May.
All right, so I can get you to 21.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first number I said. Then I said I'd go lower. Then I'd go beyond that. I would definitely go beyond here and there.
I mean, the thing
not lock steady would be Bryce Young and Drake May. So I could get him definitely to 19.
Okay. The thing that works against Geno, though, is, okay, Brock Bowers, awesome, right? Fantastic. Sure. Jacoby Myers, solid. Then we get Trey Tucker, fine. DJ
done.
Turner, not good.
We got to get spread in here. He knows we're not done.
And they probably aren't. But you're asking the question right now, right? And yeah, it's murky.
Wasn't Jacoby Myers with the Patriots when they were winning Super Bowls with Tom Brady, or was that just right after?
What are you saying? Geno is gonna be Tom Brady? Fuck out. Are you kidding?
I'm just saying the vibe is there.
The
Tom in the building and is the GM. You know what I mean?
Oh, is he going to get on the field and play?
I think it could be a good idea, but not for Geno's ADP.
Yikes.
I mean, I would never be against it. Ben Roethlisberger posted a video that he wants to come out of retirement to play with DK and Pickens and Muth. I get it. It makes sense. I would too if I had the arm.
Geno or Bruni? Oh, man. Probably still Geno. Bruni, I don't know. I've seen him throw a ball at a flag football thing. And
I'm not the QB, but I never said that I was.
Yeah, that's okay. The QB still threw a bunch of interceptions anyway, so it's not a big deal.
That's right. There was other people that were wide open, wide open in the end zone. All right, they're putting people, on the ground with route running, tactical maneuvers. All right, just come on now.
Yeah, I love the shrapnel that man just took and doesn't even know it. All right. Next up, let me continue to scroll down the board here. Christian Kirk to the Texans. You like? You don't like?
I don't like that they lost Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah, and where did Tunsil go?
To the Commanders. I let off the show with it, literally.
Just for you. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. I don't love that. I don't love what that does. I mean, I thought that Stroud was under a lot of duress in the playoffs. I felt like he had, some of his better plays where he was just trying to extend and extend and extend. I don't know if he can do that all year long with a weaker offensive line. I like the move before that. Like I was really sour on the Texans today because it's just like I don't understand how that move really helps. I know that you get a haul of picks, but I just gotta believe you got to find another way to keep him rostered when you have a young quarterback like that. You just invested in Joe Mixon. I don't understand that move at all. I will say I'm lukewarm on Christian Kirk because
ADP
go ahead.
135, wide
Yeah,
receiver 61.
I would still say lukewarm. I think he gets more expensive. I think he will definitely go up a round or two, and I just don't want to chase the rabbit with Christian Kirk. I will take some grabs here or there, some friendship stacks. You know that I like targeting those running backs and Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne. So I will do that in those scenarios, but I don't think I'm going to get overweight on him. I'm a little concerned about the Texans situation. I also think they still could add another receiver, and where we do get him at this same value or maybe even a better value, because they were lined up last year with Nico, Tank Dell, and Stephon Diggs. I mean, how would you feel about Kirk if they brought Stephon Diggs back in this offense? And Diggs was looking really good before getting hurt.
That is what I was going to say is I like this ADP for Kirk if Diggs isn't around. If Diggs comes back, I want to see this fall.
I could easily see that happening with Tank Dell projected to be out this season. And if it's not Stephon Diggs, I think that it could just be someone that's spending up some salary cap, putting in a mixed role. It looks like they're saying bye to Bobby Trees. Peace. You know what I could see them doing, Andrew? Like, this is so how sour I am. I could see them being like, you know what we'll do to replace Robert Woods? We'll get Tyler Lockett. Like, what? Like, they'll do something like weird like that. And you're like, no, you guys need to get Mac Hollins. You can't block anymore. Like, what are you doing? Like, you let the Patriots get him, you idiots. I don't like the Texans today. Ask me again next week.
Okay. I'm still, yeah, as of today, I like the Kirk ADP. But if Diggs comes back, then I'm going to be sour on his current ADP. Yeah, Texans, very, very odd mood with the Tunsil thing. I was shocked. That was like not even a thing that crossed my mind.
No,
and I saw that and I was like, oh.
No, and that's okay.
Huge.
That's a huge get for you guys. He's like
very much so.
Second best left tackle. Like, he's the second best at his position.
Got to keep Jaden upright.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Sure. The Texans need to keep Stroud upright.
Yeah.
Daniels can run. He can protect himself. What the hell?
Yeah. And you saw that Braxton Berrios went to the Texans. Not that matters for anything, but you were making fun of like what they were doing.
Berrios.
Yeah,
that's terrible. That's
also interesting.
That's Jake Bobo of 2020. That's insane. Braxton Berrios. Don't get me wrong. I love cashing some Braxton Berrios anytime touchdown tickets. That's a lot of fun. That's living life. Mm-hmm. But no. Not when I'm building my football team. I wouldn't do that on Madden. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I would do Jake Bobo, though. Dude's a dog.
So speaking of the Jags, signed De'Ami Brown 1 year, $10 million. It's fine.
I could be into it.
Sure. Like as a last round pick to show up with Trevor Lawrence or something. Sure. Fine.
Nope. I'll do it all on my own. Okay.
Well, best of luck to you. I've seen enough of De'Ami Brown. He had a nice run with Jaden, but that was, just a miracle on ice for 1 year.
Now he's got Liam Cohen.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm okay if you want to take him with Trevor Lawrence or whatever, but no. I'm enough. I've seen enough.
Touchdown upside.
What I did want to say.
So here, real quick. Gabe Davis, De'Ami Brown. What do you got?
Well, De'Ami Brown, just because Gabe Davis has shown to get injured more.
Okay. That's it. That's just it. There's an injury edge. That's it.
Yes.
Give me De'Ami Brown all day.
Okay.
All day.
Good luck there. But what I wanted to bring up was that it looks like Evan Ingram out the door, along with Kirk. See you to both of them. Yep. You brought up on our last show while we were drafting a good old Mr. Brenton Strange. Brenton Strange, now his ADP got very interesting. That's
probably the same effect to Josh Palmer, I'd imagine, like round 15, 16.
We are ADP 232, tight end 36.
There's no way he stays at that. He's absolutely going to.
Yeah. Where is this settling in? Let's say we know Brenton Strange is the guy.
Probably
where is this settling in?
Probably tight end 15 or 16 by the time we get to
okay. I don't know if I'd be in on that. I'd be more in on like the
look
20.
At his per game production. It's insane, dude. He's got
but they had a lot of injuries.
People are going to be super high on that. Maybe the 15 is too high.
What was he doing with Trevor Lawrence before Lawrence got fucked up?
I don't know much because I don't know like the game to game.
Like
when Ingram was healthy, when Trevor wasn't.
To me.
All right, well let's look it up.
Just saying. Also, Tyler says Tyler checking in says the thumbnail above y'all is something. I always think it's funny when our heads are just above our boxes
Heads.
here. It is pretty funny. He
Heads
says, love me some Young Strange. Yikes.
All
Get
right,
it? Young
Drake.
Strange.
Easy.
Oh,
How'd
jeez.
your little sister from him?
So that's my issue. That's my only issue with Strange if he's at ADP like or a tight end like 15. I'd like him more closer to 20.
They're going to need to make another move still, I think, in that offense. Like you weren't just boating a ton of confidence for Gabe Davis or De'Ami Brown. So
No.
BTJ, Brenton Strange, the guys coming back that probably were leading in receptions at this point for who's left on the roster. Maybe Parker Washington if he's still there. I'd like to see his stat splits between him and Brenton Strange, but I don't know. I think Cohen's got something cooking up here. I'm into it. And yeah, I was talking about Brenton Strange being a last round pick last week. Like I said, I'd easily buy him up to rounds 15, 16. His actual position ranking, I would put the cap probably at that tight end 15. But maybe he settles at like tight end 20. I don't know.
I think you think Brenton Strange was a lot better than he actually was. When do you think roughly here? What week is this? 8. Week 8. He had an 8.4 week. You think that's probably roughly where he started doing well?
No, he was like all over the place.
So from there, I mean, before then, he did have a 10. He had a 10.4 week, but he went 8.4, 0, 3.5, 1.1, bye week, 1.9, 2.6, 12.8, 1.2, 0. Do you think that's good?
I don't know what week was Mac Jones, and I don't know what week was Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, Brenton Strange had week 2, 8, week 3, 8.2, week 5, 10.4, week 8, 8.4, and then again, week 15, 12.8. Like,
yeah, that's those are tough numbers, and I sure hope they don't use the same playbook as last year. I don't know. I mean, talking about like what he did in 2024 with the prospect of 2025 seems like a little counterintuitive, but I know what you're saying. Like they're not sexy numbers. This is like breakout potential. And by the time we get to Mania and there's no other tight end like added or rostered, or I don't know, they do it like the Bears did and get someone random like Durham Smythe. Like what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck that was. You know, they get somebody random like that, like, you know, I don't know, this year's Eric Ebron or something. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, this guy's going to play the majority of snaps. And, oh, I'm looking around and I don't see any prominent wide receivers, you know, and maybe they added a free agent that knocks his value down. Maybe they draft somebody, knocks his value down. But I don't know. I think that his value is going to shoot.
Yeah, I think you're definitely projecting him forward, you know, in this instance. And I don't disagree. I'm just saying when you said to bring him up to maybe tight end 15, I'm not going to be super in on him at that point because the lows are really low for him. And depending on what else they do, like I don't know that the ceiling is going to be, you know, extravagant for him, right? So I would like to see him closer to the tight end 20 to 21 before I really start to, you know, bump up that old best ball exposure to him. But at 15, like I'm not going to be super in on that. It's fine, but he wasn't as good as I think people thought he was. He was getting targets as index of suspicion said, had 12 targets in a game, sure, but like he didn't really do a ton with it. Now that was, I believe, without Trevor Lawrence, so we'll see what that dynamic looks like. But Brenton Strange, I think a little bit overrated.
What was it? Yeah, he had the 12. But if you look at the offense, I mean, again, if we're going off of last year, the tight end that was there, Evan Ingram, the starting tight end, had 10, 10, 8, 7, 9, 6. These are vacated targets. If the guy is starting and he doesn't have competition, he gets vacated production plus his own. Like I think you're leaving a lot on the table here. What Brenton Strange needs to do to get to that tight end, like quote unquote ceiling, is he has to avoid similar bullets like Jaylen Warren. Like you can't just be getting overloaded on the roster with more receivers and free agency, the draft. You know, the running backs, I think we're pretty steady, but I think there's probably at least one more move to be made at receiver, I would think. And maybe again, like a cheap tight end because Strange is still on his rookie deal.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think they're going to add a piece in there as well still. So that might just murky it up a little bit more.
Tight end, little thin. Brenton Strange still kind of young. So I don't know. We'll see.
We shall see. We shall see. It's Liam Cohen who plays the Evans, Godwin, Otten roles. I mean, I think yet to be determined a little bit. I mean, BTJ is going to be the Evans role. Godwin maybe is like a mixture of guys, and Otten obviously is probably going to be Brenton Strange unless they add somebody. Which there are some good tight ends in this draft. Maybe they add a tight end as well, and then that just completely nullifies everything
That
we
would
just said.
nullify some
But
Brenton Strange probably if they went after like your boy Tyler Warren. That would be a scenario where well, park it Strange.
But as of right now, I would just want to say, like, bringing it back all to the beginning, was that your call out on Strange right now to ADP, very, very good right now. I mean, all but free. Like, definitely a guy that you want to target at the end of the drafts right now.
Last round.
Moving on, let's go to the Kansas City Chiefs, re-signing Hollywood Brown to a deal, ADP 138, wide receiver 63.
Lukewarm. I hope for themselves they do more than just add Hollywood Brown. So overall in the Chiefs, I'm pretty lukewarm. I would be more interested in taking a shot with like Elijah Mitchell with my last pick. They just signed him today as well. That's more intriguing to me than Hollywood Brown. I think it's just fine when you have a stack. I liked him there when healthy. I talked him up a bunch going into last season, but you saw when he did come back, he was playing, kind of like a limited snap role. Before that, not really much to go off of, obviously. So I would hope again that they make some more moves and this is a deeper offense and they're not bringing back, Worthy, Brown, Rice, Juju, Kelsey. I hope for themselves they do something better, more intriguing, that makes us really think. So I'd say lukewarm. Give me a dip and I might be into it without a stack. Otherwise, it's probably just going to be on a stack by stack basis.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with Hollywood Brown there at wide receiver 63. Especially if you're, building yourself a chief stack. I don't mind it. It's not great though. Like, I think you can get a dip on him. Obviously you're going to have Rashee Rice, playing at some point during the season. Xavier Worthy, looks like the charges were dropped, but I don't know what's up with Kansas City and their players just having an issue.
It's not a lot to do, man. Just not a lot to do down there.
Yeah, but you're rich. Like, maybe find something to do other than get in trouble.
No, man.
I don't know. But I don't know if he's going to be punished by the league or not. Yet to be determined, I believe, on that. But no charges pressed. So Hollywood Brown might be an okay piece at the beginning. Maybe not so much at the end. Currently going around the likes of Christian Kirk, Quentin Johnston, Jalen Coker, Romeo Dobbs. I mean, like, are you in for Hollywood over any of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, you could really talk me into any of those guys. They weren't Christian Watson, so I'm not really a cokehead, though.
Me either, really. Okay, interesting. Let's see here. Going down the old board here. See if there's anything else.
What do you think about Davante Adams?
Yeah, I'll say Davante Adams. Next up on the Rams here, 2 years, $46 million. They said to Cooper Kupp, we don't really want to pay that amount of money to a over 30 wide receiver. And then they said, Davante Adams, come on down. We were lying to Cooper Kupp. So
I think
very interesting.
Davante Adams is still physically in his form, and Cooper Kupp, I just don't know. It seems like that's a pretty good signal that he may not be that guy still. Even the trade market has been completely cold for the Rams here. It sounds like he's going to be cut on the first day of the first day of 2025 NFL business day, whatever they call it. So that should be interesting. To Davante Adams, very good scenario. He gets another very experienced quarterback at the helm that likes to throw the ball a lot. This is an offense that passed for the 10th most passing yards in 2024. Good situation for Davante Adams to be a part of and potentially flourish in. I think I want to maybe temper Puka out of the top 6 picks, maybe a few back. I get a little bit of a discount for Davante Adams. Would you agree? His ADP is 6.
Like, I don't really mind it for Puka. They're not going to cross over each other, really. Davante's going to play the outside guy. I mean, Puka does well.
Upside, I don't know. He's got more touchdown upside. I feel like.
Sure, but do you discount Chase because of T. Higgins?
No, I don't.
I mean, how is that scenario really different?
They're not as close in ADP though. Didn't you say that Higgins was like wide receiver 13?
Yeah, but you were saying discount Adams? Puka. It doesn't matter where Adams is going if he's going to hurt.
It should discount Jamar Chase, but when you look in reality at the top receivers, like they could all go interchangeable. Jamar Chase was just won the Triple Crown. He's always going to go right where he's
I'm
at.
saying. How comes Puka can't also be really good with Adams while Chase is doing really well with Higgins?
It's also a different offense. I mean, the Bengals throw a
But you
lot
just
more.
said that the Rams pass the ball a ton.
They do. They passed the 10th most passing yards last year. I don't even know if it was over 4,000 yards. It was a lower year for passing yards. Calm down. The Bengals were definitely like top 3, and Burrow throws a ton more than the Rams, period. And the Rams also have Kyron. So adding Davante with Kyron, with Puka, I think relegates some more of the touchdown upside away from Puka a little bit. And I would park him probably closer to maybe like pick 10, like maybe at the end of the first round and not in the middle of it. That's where I'd be at.
Okay. I mean, if you're only dropping him there, then that's fine. I just thought you were like dropping him like out of that.
You can't drop him into like the second round. He's not going to fall that far, but he could easily go behind Amon-Ra, in my opinion. Brian Robinson is getting so much steam. I could easily see people moving him up ahead of Puka, but I would still want Puka over him. Same thing with Malik Neighbors. If he had a quarterback and no competition for touches, Tyrone Tracy is not Kyron. Darius Slayton is certainly not Davante Adams. I could see people easily moving up Neighbors, who was second in the league in targets last year. And then, yeah, you're pretty much in the clear. Like, he's no matter what going to go ahead of guys like Drake London, A.J. Brown. I mean, Ladd McConkey was so damn good at the end of last year, but I still think he goes ahead of Ladd. Tyreek Hill, that's just still a discount to me. I think that Tyreek and Puka are still right there. Tyreek doesn't get the volume, but the big playability and the touchdown upside can still be there for him.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and I agree. Like, I think it's fine if you drop him back a few spots, but like, I don't think it really truly hurts Puka to have Adams here. I mean, I think it helps slightly. So what about Adams? ADP 50.4, wide receiver 28 off the board right now.
Gonna go higher. Good value for now. Yeah, good value for now. But let's see how.
What if he settles in around wide receiver 20? How do you feel about that?
I think that's pretty good. Like, that's kind of like right after a big drop of Mike Evans, Harrison, DJ, Garrett Wilson, and you're putting him right ahead of the mix of like Xavier Worthy, Devontae Smith. I think it's kind of a closer call with him and Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams, I don't know if it has the same amount of like touchdown upside. He had 8 touchdowns last year. How many did Devontae had in a down year? He had 8 as well. He had 8 in back-to-back years, but J-Mo just doesn't feel like also the same type of volume player. That's a pretty good spot, I'd say, for him. 2019.
Mex says went 3rd in the bigger board a few hours ago after Evans and them. Okay.
That's 20. Yeah.
Yeah. Index says Adams over JSN. Your thoughts?
It's probably a better pick today. I'm not a big buyer in Sam Darnold with the Seahawks. It just doesn't. He doesn't have Justin Jefferson. JSN was very good last year, but he is not JJ Jettas. That situation's still too murky. So yeah, I definitely take Adams over him.
Yeah, it's close for me, but I probably agree. The upside for Adams is just probably a little bit more, though. I think JSN does see more targets than Adams will.
Yeah, but JSN is all the way up at wide receiver 14. He's probably shorted with the Sam Darnold move. I mean, he's alone. There's no DK Metcalf. There's no Tyler Lockett. That holds his value up. But do you trust it? I mean, like, those guys also relied, or his production also relied on those guys doing their jobs in the offense, right? Like, taking off some of the coverage from the opponents. I don't know. I think that could spell trouble for JSN and Sam Darnold this year.
Yeah, Index says I might want to take Adams over Higgins just on the fact that Higgins misses time every year. To me, that's a no-no. Again, he missed 5 games last year and was still wide receiver 18 in half-point PPR.
It's also just a really huge spread to cover. Like, JSN is wide receiver 13. Oh, Higgins is 13. JSN is 14. So they're right next to each other. That's a lot of ground to cover. Like, I wouldn't drop JSN all the way back to like where Davante Adams is going. I mean, and I don't think I need to pull Davante Adams all the way up to where they're going. So I think, it's just 2 different ADPs.
It is.
I get it. I get it. You would prefer, him over those guys, but you wouldn't want to pull him up that high.
Yeah. I mean, Darius Slayton signed with the Giants for 3 years, $36 million. And again, they're like, sorry, Saquon, we can't pay you. And then they're like, Darius Slayton, come on down. We're giving you $36 million for not sure why. I mean, that doesn't really do anything for me in this scenario. Could care less really about Darius Slayton. The last thing I think that I really, I shouldn't say the last thing, but what about Justin Fields?
I like the move. Right now, you're not seeing a ton of weapons there, but they've got two really good running backs. Now they've got a third in Justin Fields. If you want to implement a like rushing attack for him, but him, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, that creates a lot of misdirection out of the backfield. That's a good thing, and he also gets back to being paired up with Garrett Wilson. They played together in college. I was talking to you before the show about DJ Moore's massive season with Justin Fields. I don't know if we get that level of Garrett Wilson this year, but Garrett Wilson is, in fact, a target hog. What he does with all those targets is up to him. Some weeks it's very good, some weeks it's not, but he does command a huge concentration of the offense. If this team sours on other positions and they kind of fade getting other elite players at receiver, or another team that could try to get a tight end in the draft, I think you could see Garrett Wilson in line for like 25 to 30% like target share easily.
Yes, on the target share. I'm slightly skeptical on the offense allowing that connection to happen a ton. I'm wondering, like, what are they actually going to do with
They would
Justin
never want
Fields
them
here?
to do that, right?
No, it's not necessarily that. It's the way that they're gonna try to
Spread
force
it
it.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I
I'm
understand.
not sure how that offense is gonna look with it. I do think it's nice for best ball that we now know Justin Fields is somewhere, that he is actually gonna be a starter, and obviously we know he can use his legs. So good third quarterback, maybe second if you have like a Josh Allen and you're like comfortable with just going with Fields as a second guy. I don't mind that. Garrett Wilson right now, wide receiver 15, ADP 26.3. You think that that's fair at wide receiver 15?
I think that we can get a discount, but this is an ADP that I see moving up, down, probably with just more or less moves made. If they don't make any moves, kind of like I mentioned, I think his cost could go even higher. So that would mean he's currently at a value, but I don't see that happening. I think he does get a little bit cheaper with Fields being the quarterback and maybe another potential ad. So I would probably wait at that time. And like this is the first player you're going to have to take from the Jets, I believe. You're not going to take Breece Hall first. I believe in the ADP that Wilson's going to come off the board first. So you kind of have to make that commitment. And I think you're doing that probably, with him as your like wide receiver 2 or 3, however you're starting your build. But I don't think you go into like your best ball drafts and being like, yeah, Garrett Wilson's going to be my number 1. I think there's probably some other guys around that ADP that you'd feel maybe comfortable starting with like DJ Moore. Where is he at? He's one spot behind him. Mike Evans, like we talked about, we still really love the Tampa Bay offense. I definitely like him more than Marvin Harrison. I don't think you'd get that flip. Trying to think of other guys that could move up ahead of him. Maybe Tet McMillan once he gets a landing spot. Rashi Rice, if they say that he's not going to be missing time. Not sure who else would move up there, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he might move back a couple spots. But I mean, it's still Garrett Wilson. Like, he's highly talented wide receiver. I just hope that the Jets allow the offense to kind of run around Fields and Wilson, right? Like, I hope that they just don't try to be dumb with it and force things to other players and not give a 30% target share to Wilson, because honestly, like that's what they should do. Like, go do that. That's what you should do.
No, hopefully they don't trade him either, because he's pretty sour on the situation there. I'm hoping that the addition of Fields, someone that he is close with, will help that. Because again, right now he's standing around and there's not much competition for targets. They gave Allen Lazard permission to seek a trade, so assuming he's going to be gone as well, probably cut. I don't think anyone's going to trade for him unless he's waiting for the Steelers to grab Rodgers and then also grab Allen Lazard.
Index says Frashe doesn't miss time in his health. He should be an early third rounder. He's definitely going to miss time, right? I mean, the suspension's looming.
I don't know. It's been a whole year.
Yeah, I feel like he has to
say something.
Time.
say something. But yeah, like I said before, like, I just don't see how they don't add somebody, how they don't do something. I don't think Elijah Mitchell will be the last player that they add. That would be not good. That would be not good. I would not be as in on the Chiefs this year if that was the case.
Yeah. I know we slightly hit on it on the old Sam Darnold thing, but currently right now, Darnold is going as quarterback 26, ADP 168. Now over on the Seattle Seahawks. How do we feel about that?
Yeah, like I was saying before, I just don't love the situation. Justin Jefferson is not there. JSN, I loved last year, but I have to short his ADP as well. I don't love that connection right now the way it stands. I think the run game is interesting between Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. But right now, if I'm a defensive coordinator, that box is loaded, brother. I mean, like, there's no one really to, like, really overwhelm you, in pairing with JSN or Ken Walker. I don't think it's Noah Fant. I don't think that's it. Jake Bobo? I don't think that's it. So this is an offense that I think is incomplete. And for now, I would be staying away from Darnold and probably beginning to short that JSN ADP.
Yeah, Mrs. Darnold has to prove it was more than just studying the Shanny system for 2 years. Yeah, I mean, we know how friendly that.
He does get Clint Kubiak, and Clint Kubiak was instrumental in unlocking Derek Carr early last year. Derek Carr had some very nice deep balls. He had a nice little offensive game going there to start the season. Ended pretty quickly in injury, but that offense was humming. And these two also connected in San Francisco when Darnold left. What was it? The Panthers after it was Jets then Panthers. He went to San Francisco, and they have a connection there. So there's something there between those two. I'm not saying I'll be completely out on it. I was very low on Darnold coming into the big board competition because I knew the uncertainty was looming, whether he was coming back to Minnesota, going elsewhere. And I just didn't feel that he could really live up to last year's production. But where he's going, I still think, it's pretty friendly. It's just going to go up. He, with the certainty that's been provided in the landing spot, he'll get more expensive. And I want to see a more complete picture of the Seahawks before I invest in Darnold or JSN right now.
Yeah, tough to trust them. It's just tough right now. I still really like JSN, but Darnold, temper expectations, people. Temper expectations. Last one here, just kind of going through with all the free agency moves. Looks like we're at the Washington Commanders here. We already talked about Deebo on a previous one, but Zach Ertz now getting signed, this past week. Back for another 1-year deal. Currently tight end 24, ADP 188. I've been shouting his name from the rooftops. I was getting made fun of on last show for having 83% of Zach Ertz right now.
It's too much. Zach Ertz. We just got Deebo.
I mean,
another weapon.
Zach Ertz did pretty damn well last year. Finished as tight end 9. Currently going tight end 24. Math don't add up to me. Still think it's a pretty good pick here. So obviously everyone knows how I stand on Zach Ertz, but what about you, Bruni?
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. To open the competition, his ADP was very fruitful, very, very great, very late. And right now, you haven't really seen that massive of an overcorrection. So I will continue to buy. Having him on every team is a bit much. I don't
83%. 83.
That's a lot. That's
a lot.
Is too much. But no, I mean, the value is there. So as long as you're continuously getting him as your third tight end, live and die, let it ride. Let's fly.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Math doesn't add up. Jaden loves him. That was like he immediately reached out to Zach after this happened, and so he loves him. He has a very good connection with him right out of the gate already. So I think that Ertz should be closer to the tight end 15 realm. He's tight end 24. I think that we're going to see a jump, week after week on Zach Ertz here, because I just don't see how he just settles in at 188. That just makes no sense to me. Too far back, people.
Massive value. Massive value. I think his cost does go up. But again, that offense did get deeper. You added Deebo. Do you think that they add a running back now that they've gotten Laramie Tunzel, or is it just wheels up for Eckler and B-Rob?
I do think they add somebody just because it is a nice running back class. So I do think they do that. Not a high pick by any means, but they will probably add somebody in there. For all intents purposes, I'm going into it right now as B. Rob and Eckler are continuing as they were last year. Once they add somebody, it could muddy it a little bit depending on the type
Oh,
of
would
running
you?
back they get. If they get a big bruiser, I think
Mhm,
that hurts B. Rob a little bit. If they go get a pass catcher like a Cam Scatabo or something, I think that
mhm.
that hurts Eckler. So I can't really discount either one of them because in my eyes, as a Commanders insider, I think it's truly going to depend on what style running back they go and get.
You're an insider. What style running
Commander
back will they go
insider,
get?
boots on the ground, ears open all the time. Just saying.
My boots are on the ground. My boots are much closer than your boots. Who's this running
Yeah.
back they're adding? Mr. Insider?
I'm just saying that I do believe that they add one, and I think
Yeah.
they're going to do it with a purpose. They're not just going to
Oh,
take a good guy. They're going to take a guy
oh,
that they want for a certain scenario.
that's good. What's the scenario they want?
If I had to guess, it's probably going to be a pass catcher. I think that they would rather.
Insiders don't guess. They know. All right. Get your feet close
Oh,
to
okay.
Landover. All right.
Didn't you
Calm
say?
down.
Listen, insiders told us today that Milton Williams was going to the Panthers multiple times. You want to know where he
Insiders like
went?
on NFL Network?
Like multiple people tweeting like actual respectable accounts,
Oh, okay.
and then next thing you know, they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
your
actually,
account
it's
is
the
definitely
Patriots."
not respectable. That you're
It is
right.
not.
You're
It
right.
is unofficial.
You got the check mark.
Yeah, I got the check mark that I pay for.
You know it. Hey, they do too. Calm down.
Uh,
They do too. Their bosses just pay for it. Calm down.
yeah. Anybody else that we are missing that I did not hit on? I think that was pretty much covered a majority of that.
No, that feels about right. If the chat has anybody that they have questions about,
I mean, Index,
circumstances of
appreciate him.
change.
He's but we start off with Mike Robb, and then Index fills in. Is Index actually Mike Robb? But Mike
Ooh,
Robb like
I
signs
don't
off
know.
as Mike Robb and fills in for Index.
I don't know. I don't
I'm just
know.
saying. It was weird. At the same time, Mike Robb stopped talking. Index started. It's just pointing that
What
out.
do you
Have
what
we
do you
ever seen them in the
about
same room?
I want to ask you about Keon Coleman really quick. What do you think about his value with the Palmer edition? We kind of moved over that.
Um, don't think it. I don't think it really hurts where he's currently going ADP wise. Which let me pull that up here for the
It's
people to
wide
make sure.
receiver 55.
Yeah, I don't think it truly hurts him. I don't think it helps him, but I think that I still think he's an okay pick at wide receiver 55. They brought him. I mean, they drafted him last year. We don't want to kill him after
Yeah,
1
I'm
year.
not necessarily saying the pick. I just mean like the role, the scheme. Like, does he flourish?
Um,
Does he like kind of stay where he's at, go backwards?
Yeah, I still think Coleman's going to do better than he did last year. I still like the value here at wide receiver 55. Palmer I think is going to be just a strictly downfield guy. Like that's what he's kind of been a little bit. So I can see like maybe he takes like a Mac Hollins role, a Curtis Samuel deep down the field kind of role ish
Mhm.
over what I think Keon Coleman can provide to the team. So I don't really think it hurts Coleman that much.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, Coleman's
Do
right
they
there.
keep Amari Cooper?
No, he walks. He was so bad. He's right ahead of Travis Hunter, Stephon Diggs, Christian Kirk, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen still a Chicago Bear. Interesting.
Interesting. That is interesting.
That is interesting. That'd be great if he was back another year, but I just feel like they would trade him.
That's all I got here. Amari Pooper.
Great way to end
Yeah, Index says already covered Najee, and then Meg obviously said in the very beginning for segment. Yes, we do like that for both parties, actually, Najee and Warren.
I love Index saying that Keenan runs nice, crisp routes. Last year he was fat. That's what everybody said. He's fat.
Hey, and you know what? You know what? We went in and got some Fat Keenan discounts.
Yeah, 7 touchdowns.
Fat guys score touchdowns. Ask Kelvin Benjamin.
70 catches, 7 touchdowns. I'll take 10%. All right, very good. Great episode. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow the Fan Speak Network. We are marching to 500 followers and onward to 1,000 subs. Please follow us. We're giving away $500 in prizes in due time here. As soon as we hit that 500, boom, big old family draft, giving away money. giving away prizes. Let's go. Let's ride.
Cocktail playbook.
And a cocktail playbook. And we'll be drafting, family style. It'll be good. It'll be great. And you'll be there with us, which will make it even better. We appreciate you. Andrew. I about called you Aaron. Andrew.
Jeez.
Who the fuck is
Aaron?
Aaron. Andrew, anything to share before we head out? Aaron Rodgers on my mind. He is going to be
just Aaron Rodgers on your mind. Oh, wow.
He's making a move tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow?
Come back Wednesday night for Bruni and I's Big Board Draft Roar. I'm sure we will get into further discussions about these moves, these players that are on the go on new teams as we draft. Come join us 9:30 Wednesday night Eastern time. Be there. Big board, $10. Win it all. Steve won 50 grand. Just saying. It might be a mojo thing for Fanspeak to be here with us. Just saying. Not financial advice, but I can see the future. Bruni, take us out, buddy.
Later, y'all.